I lived in Richmond, Virginia. At the time we had 5 children, and we knew that we had one move left in us, and we wanted to pick the best place that we could find to raise our children. And we were pretty serious about our search. We actually hopped on an airplane and we flew to Denver. We looked at Denver, looked at homes in Denver, looked at jobs in Denver. We flew to Arizona, looked at Phoenix, and considered that. We actually went to Cedar City. Thought that might be a great place to raise our children. And when all the information was in, it was very obvious to us that we wanted to raise our kids and our family here in Utah County. And after we did a little more investigation, we narrowed that down to Provo. It felt like that of all the places on the earth, this is where we would like to raise our family. And there's a number of reasons for that. The educational opportunities, recreational opportunities, the entire quality of life is just unbelievable. But the single biggest reason that stood out was the core values that all of you have. And that was 10 years ago. And since we made that decision, we've not looked back once. We've been so pleased with the opportunity that we've had to be part of this community and to raise our kids here with you and your values. Why am I running? Because I have a very strong desire for my children to have a place just like Provo to raise their kids in. And I want to preserve this great place that we have to live. In the upcoming years, the legislature will make some very important decisions that will impact the quality of life that we enjoy here in Utah County. And in a very real way, it would be a dream come true for me to be part of that process and to participate in that and have an impact in keeping this great valley as great as it is for us today. We will change. I know we have to change. Growth is coming at us very quickly, and how we manage that is very important in order to keep this place as great as it is. I believe my single biggest qualification for this office is that I am a father of 6, and I think I'll do just about anything to maintain this place that we have to live so that my kids can raise their kids here. Hopefully they'll choose them. I'm a businessman. I've been affiliated. It's been my opportunity to be affiliated with Action Target for the last 9 years. That frequently brings a kind of surprise look to people's face when they want to know why I work at Target. And we actually manufacture equipment used for shooting ranges. We have 130 employees right here in Provo. And that experience has given me a tremendous opportunity to learn about the importance of the private sector, of the proper role of government. I'm an individual that hates to pay taxes. I've worked for a decade in the law enforcement industry, and I think I understand the special unique needs of our law enforcement officers, who very much like our teachers are underappreciated and undercompensated. I'm running because I'm a hard worker. I've been blessed with a set of skills that I think have allowed me to have a measure of success in solving problems and consensus building. I'm running because I'm at a point in my life where I have the time to give, and this would be a wonderful opportunity for me. And I think finally I'm running because I'm a lousy golfer, and I just soon do something I enjoy with my time. Thank you.
The number of you that I've been able to get out and see, one common thread that I've heard more often than anything else is wanting to make sure that Utah County and Provo is represented. And your representative focuses on this county's needs and doesn't forget them at the expense of a number of other issues that come up at the state level. And a little story. Now, how would I accomplish that? Well, I'll tell you a little story that's kind of like business lore, business legend that I heard in a number of settings at work. Was McDonnell Douglas. It had a lot of conflict between the product managers for the airplane and the components of the airplanes, arguing over which avionics will go in it or which wing set is going to go on this new plane. And this culture was built up for a number of years. And finally, Mr. Douglas came out at a big company meeting and said, hey, we can solve this problem. I'll tell you what, when you guys can't decide on which way it ought to be, just come to me, and I'll tell you which one's right and fire the other one. So very quickly, the company's culture very much reversed. And people said, hey, we've got to work this out. So they learned how to compromise and build consensus and really created a corporation whose culture was famous for the collaboration that they got from different groups working together in that synergy. I think that's something that has to be done in the state legislature. there's no boss to even go to arbitrate if you can't work out a compromise. So as a state legislature, the buck stops there. You have to come to a decision, an agreement. And if you can't, there's too many issues that if you just let them go to vote and it doesn't go one way or the other, you've missed the opportunity to get something done that needs to be done. So I think a great thing I'll do that I've had experience in the past in student government at BYU and a number of my business setting jobs has been to build consensus and get agreement to work towards a shared end. Now, one thing in business that was very exciting to me was we might be talking on discussion groups out on the internet and start formulating an idea, hearing what was going on. And we implement that idea, and a few months later they'd start writing about it in magazines, and a year later you'd see this as more formalized activity that was going on in companies. And to be involved in some new out-of-the-box thinking was very fun. After well over a decade in technology companies, when I made a career switch and wanted to get involved in education, it was invigorating, yet frustrating too, to be asking those kinds of questions. Well, why are we doing it this way? Well, what about if we did it that way? And having lots of different ideas about the way education could work, and reaching out and talking with some people who had alternative ideas that they were trying in education. And I enjoy this quite a bit, and I've seen a great perspective on what actually works in schools, and I think that's a dual perspective I've been from my business background for many years, and the few years that I've been a school teacher, that I'll be able to cast really wise votes on some of the issues that we have for education. While always keeping in mind that business is the goose that lays the golden egg. The economy is what generates the money for our lives, for our tax base, and we need an environment that helps that flourish. So you can read a few more of my points on a piece of paper that I have out right now. I'll give you a gift of 30 seconds, which says I'll use the resources that are appropriate, not everything that's given to us in government. Thank you.